Hey, how you doing? This is G. Allen again, and we're working on this painting here. I think I got my camera issues figured out. So on this painting, this section here, I didn't like the way it was coming out, so I had to start over. Like I said, I'm reteaching myself how to paint. Got my palette here, mixed up a green with Prussian blue and burnt umber. That's how you say that. Brown, basically. Green, blue, and brown. Trying to mix up this neutral color in here. When you add brown and blue together, you get a nice gray color. So sometimes when you paint, you make mistakes. And that's one of the benefits of being an artist, is that you can try something out, and it doesn't work, you just come back and make the changes. The bad thing is that sometimes you don't notice the mistake until it's too late. You have to start all over. So, luckily I'm not that far into this painting. Notice my mistake. Notice that I was going in the wrong direction with this section right here. I did like this little foam at the bottom. I'm going to try to keep that. Alright, now I'm having issues with transparency and opacity here. So I don't like using a whole lot of paint, and the more opaque your paint is, the thicker it is and the less it spreads across your canvas. So we're going to get opaquer and opaquer here. There we go. Now I got the canvas wet. Let the canvas spread the paint around. Just putting enough pigment on there to cover up my mistake here. I'm using just turpentine to thin my paint. Nice thing about just using turpentine, or the solvent, to thin your paint, is that it's just going to evaporate off your canvas and leave your pigments on the canvas. If you use a medium like liquid, or the just a regular slow cure medium, like that, you can only get so thin because you can only put like 25% of that, as opposed to getting 100% opacity or transparency by putting a paint thinner, or not paint thinner, but turpentine in there. So you make it really thin. With medium, you can only get so thin because you only put like 25% of that, 75% paint. So it limits your transparency, and it doesn't affect your dry rate or your the pigments color. Alright, so that's looking better already. Okay. So I started dark. Now I'm going to work in the light tones. Okay. Because this is an early morning sunrise, So you got that transition between light and shadow going on. Let's see, Barb Jodik's on here. How are you doing? See if I can add a little light here. Just add a little yellow to the green. Because I want this to kind of got the sunlight coming right through here. Kind of want to show that off. That's going to be the crest of the wave. I got my reference photo behind me here on the screen, computer screen. And like I said, this is a Edisto Beach, South Carolina. Took some pictures while we were on, well, we took a Christmas and we spent it at Edisto Beach. So this is a morning picture. It's kind of a combination between different reference photos. Just kind of wanted to show at Edisto Beach they have pillars, stone pillars that go out into the water. I guess they break the waves, keep the beach from eroding. So they got breakers here, and then I'm standing on one here. So there's going to be two pillars of rocks, and where the rocks are is where the waves hit and break. And then here is kind of like the beach. So this is at high tide, and so the water goes all the way into the beach. And so what I want to show is the water right here. Now, according to my reference photo, I got light blue over here, so I'm going to start fading in light blue. I have to clean off my brush because I got all kinds of stuff. I like this green down here. I'm going to add a little more dark blue. So it's looking a whole lot different already. You can see it on the video. So this is where I started. Kind of this color here. Going a lot darker. Because I'm going to put light on top of it, giving me that contrast. Alright. I really couldn't get that contrast before when I had all light bluish color like over here. So, watched a couple videos on YouTube from really good artists. We're making seascapes, kind of copying that technique. Still got a long ways to go to learn how to do this the right way. But the way I was doing it before was just wrong. If you watch the last video, it's just wrong. So the reason I started painting again was because I've been putting it off for 20-some years. And I watched a video today called The Truth About Money. And I wrote a book a few years ago, not 2016, says Retire Younger. Alright? And the video today and the book kind of say the same thing. Basically, it's not about the money, it's about time. So we all have a limited, finite amount of time and you're gonna let your career, your job, making a living, steal your value, right? What value do you bring to the world? Right? What value do you bring to the world? That's been my whole thing with the book, is understanding your value. Your time is so valuable. You have one life, and you need to make it count for something, right? Stop chasing money was the point of the video. If you watch the video, I posted it on my Facebook feed, Truth About Money. And I also put a link to my book that I wrote in 2016, talking about retire younger. And in the book, I tell you how to leverage your time by leveraging money. So you either can use your money or other people's money. A lot easier to use other people's money because they actually exist, but there's also ways you can leverage your own money. You can do both at the same time. You take control of your time, like I am, by committing myself to painting every day, which I think is where I give the most value to the world. Imagine if I started this 20 years ago, right? How many paintings could I have done in 20 years? It'd be a lot. Alright, so according to Kier, I don't know if I'm going to like that color. It's a lot lighter up in here. I like this pattern I'm creating though. I just don't like that color. Let's go. And my palette is bright blue. But since my paint's still wet, just making it lighter version of green here. So I might have to come back and add that. Alright, so there's some white waves in here. So I'm just going to mark out where those waves are. And, I need a smaller brush. Cleaning off my brush right now. Christina on here. Let's see. Smaller brush, square. Okay, got a smaller brush now. Alright, so I'm going to take this light blue color and look at my reference photo. Kind of lost. I think I gotta let that dry a little bit. So I'm gonna let that dry and move on to something else. Alright, let's work on this stuff up in here. So I'm going to add, I'm going to smooth this out. Kind of going back and forth in my mind what I'm going to do. I know I just want this to be lighter here. It's just the light blue is not going to transition over this green right now. So I'm going to put some more yellow right here. Running low on yellow. Right in here. Got all this breaking wave action going on here. Yeah, I like the way that looks. More yellow, more yellow. And yellow all the way down here. I like this brush, by the way. This small, flat brush. Makes some nice strokes. Drags the paint really well. Trying to blend it a little bit here. So what are some of the things that you've been putting off for 20 years? And if I just had the time to do it, or the money to do it, I would have done it, right? That was always my excuse. I never had time or the money to paint. So I was watching some videos about seascapes. I realized that I was doing all this wrong. It's all about blending the water and then adding the foam on top of it ever so lightly after it dries. I'm going to add some white to this yellow. Really lighten that up. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting there. A little white to it. That really lightens that up. See how that lightens up there with a little white to it? So I'm going to do the same thing up there. That way when I add my blue on top of it, oh, it's too light. Too much white. Anyways. Still going to be kind of green now. I like the way that turned out. It's kind of dry up there already. So I didn't expect. A random pattern there. The way that's streaking. It's a lot better than what I had before. Let's finish this. I keep jumping around because I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I don't like that. Too light. more green into it. There we go. Now it's pulling the paint right off it. Strange. Anywhere I want to light up here. Just under the crest of the wave here. It's going to crash right in there. So like I said in the last video, painting is kind of madness. You're always going back and forth between light and dark. Sometimes you get too light, sometimes you get too dark. Trying to find a good medium. I haven't figured out the answer yet to that's about. I'm gonna clean off my brush. Like I said about using the, the turpentine as the thinning out the paint. It's almost dry. Drier than it would be if I used a medium. So I can work quickly. Sometimes you want more time to get the paint around, but hey, more white. Hi Grandma, how are you? Grandma's on here. She's got a birthday coming up. So, fixing this wave in here. I didn't like the way it was turning out, so I had to start over with that. Grandma used to get me coloring books all the time. She'd come see me in October on Columbus Day. So I can thank her for starting me out in this world of art. She also taught me how to bowl a strike. She's a good bowler. That's turning out better. I gotta be careful with this line here. Pull the brush down so it doesn't look like I'm making a line. I had an art teacher, Lucius Passavante, and he said there's no lines. He was talking about the human face, but there's just edges between light and dark. But we try to simplify it and put a line there. It doesn't look natural. So, I'm sure enjoying painting again. Life is too short not to do the things that you really enjoy doing. Stop chasing money. Watch that video I posted earlier, The Truth About Money. Key point is stop chasing money. Do the things that add value to the world. What is it that adds value to the world? Is it a hug? Listening ear? Is it donating? I also posted a video on my Facebook about opportunity where you can donate groceries for Guatemala. Some of the proceeds, you know, the US dollar goes a lot farther in Guatemala. All you do is buy groceries. You don't even have to keep the groceries. You can donate the groceries as well to the local. Well, we have a food bank here. Donate to the food bank and donate the proceeds they make from that to people in Guatemala. They're being hit hard by this pandemic. They literally are running out of food, and the government doesn't support people like they support people in the United States. You run out of food, you starve. So if you want to donate to that, check out the video that I shared on my Facebook post. How to support Guatemala, people of Guatemala. We have a mission that goes to Guatemala, and help support that mission and the people of Guatemala by simply buying groceries. Like I said, you don't have to collect the groceries. You can actually donate them to our local food bank and help the people of our community as well. So definitely check that out. Anybody can donate. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. Just what you would normally buy groceries. Or if you let me know, I can see what I can do about shipping you the groceries or getting them to you. Just know I have to charge you for shipping. But alright, so this is turning out a lot better. I'm going to let it dry before I put the foam on top, but I hate that it's pulling the color out. Trying to blend that down. The wheel's back on here. As soon as I pull the color right away, I gotta stop playing with that. Where's my little blender? Take this blending brush. That's better. Okay. It's just that little brush was just pulling the color right off the canvas. I like that. Man, this is almost dry up here. The pink still comes off on your hand. That's what I'm talking about. That's a lot better. Alright, right down here. I'll blend that later. I'm going to let this dry a little bit. I'm going to work up in here. I like this blue color up in here, but there's a lot more dark in there, so I'm going to take some dark blue, mix it with the ultramarine blue. It's going to be double blue. And I'm going to clean off my brush. it's kind of this, just kind of want to create a pattern of little waves back in here. A darker color. Use some of that blue in there. I really like this brush. I need to get more of these, because you can do these fine little lines with it. Paint on your brush. Just gets to the point where it's thick on your brush. And it's kind of looking too predictable. There we go. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to just kind of come forward with it like that. Right in there, it needs to be darker. I got this breaking wave back in here. That's not what I wanted. Dark. And there. Thank you. Yeah, so I've been watching some videos. As I said, I'm reteaching myself how to paint. This guy, Franco or Francis or something like that. I like Tischler, Andrew Tischler. Franco's like really knowledgeable about oil paint. Tischler's too. But sometimes, I like what Franco said. He said that you know, it's not the lack of information, it's the lack of knowledge that keeps you from succeeding with oil paint. So if you know the fundamentals of how oil paint works, and colors and how they work together, you can pretty much just mastering your brush strokes. That's the part I'm having trouble with right now. I like the way water reflects the sky. has these little patterns of light that reflects up. It's kind of like a broken mirror type of look. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do here. When this dries, I'm going to do my highlights on top of the water here, but let's see if I can get that pattern of the waves, letting little patches of light through. Give variety to the different blues and greens and all that. See, that's looking better already. Now this in here, what's that look like in my reference photo? There's a ridge, darker water with a wave. A couple more. Hi Jamie. Hi Sean. Shane. Sorry, not Sean. Yeah, I'm painting this scene of Edisto Beach from some reference photos I took in December when we were down there for Christmas. And spent the week there. And I started painting this water the other day in another video, and I didn't like the way it turned out, so I'm kind of remodeling the whole water scene. I'm looking closer at my reference photo, which is behind me on my computer screen. Right now there's a ridge right in here, which I'm going to paint the foam on. Waiting for this area to dry down in here. So I haven't painted in 20 years. This is my first painting. 20 years. Because I've been too busy chasing money, trying to make a living. I realized that time was passing, especially during this whole COVID thing. If not now, then when? My motto. Last couple months here. So I made some changes in my lifestyle. So I'm gonna paint or draw or something every day. Because I realized that it's not about chasing money, it's about value. What kind of value you give into the world? What are you doing with your time here on this planet? You're not going to live forever. So what are some of the things that you can do to give value? For me, my time is spent doing things like this. I think I give the most value doing this. I'm just going to go ahead and paint all this. Kind of a darker blue to match my darker values over here. And I like this brush. I like the way it's on the strokes. Problem is it's not wide enough right now. Come back to that brush later. Back to my wider brush earlier. I got this wider brush here. I was going to keep that over there, but I decided that I'm just going to start over. Pick up some of this more blue color. too blue. Too much. Let's go ahead and add some white to it. Aha. There we go. That's looking more like water. Too little, too late. I don't have any music going today. Should make got remote control. I think if I click off this Facebook thing, I'll end up closing the video down, so I'm not going to do that. Guess we'll have to go without music. Usually have some music playing when I'm doing this. I like this. I like it a lot. I like this blue. Right here, I'm going to make it darker though. Blend darker into this section over here. Add some thinner to it. There we go. Alright, so let's pull on the paint again. I'll take my blender, just gonna blend it this direction. It's not working so well. Sure is quiet without the music going. So, any thoughts, any comments? Answer any questions you got? What are you guys thinking about doing? Add value. If you just joined in the video, check out the post I put earlier with the talked about the truth about money, and the link to my book called Retire Younger. I haven't read that. We both talk about the same thing pretty much. That is that you need to stop chasing money, start focusing on the time, how you invest in your time to give the most value to the world. You know, you got one life. How do you use time? The most valuable resource is your time, and we give it away for a paycheck. Give it away for a paycheck. That is looking a lot better. I'm telling you right now. Once I start adding the foam and stuff on top, it's going to be nice. Alright, so let's see if I can add some blue to that. Oh, where did I put my brush? Okay. So I'm going to add a lot of white, some blue. See if I can't lighten this up in here. Hi Marty, how are you? How are things in New York? It's still picking up all that green in the background. It's not dry enough yet. So I really gotta wait for that to dry. You see where I'm going with that though. I'm gonna put a nice light blue on top of that to match this over here. It's still too wet. That's good, Marty. You still in New York? I want to do something real bad, and I'm just lost. Things still too wet. Let's see if I can work on this down here. Alright, so that down there, you can copy this green to the little holes. Clear off my brush. Marty had to go. He's not there anymore. Alright. I'll make this darker. Could start painting in my rocks. Yes. So anything you want to contribute, just put a comment. Oh, there you are. Delhi, okay. Work as a carpenter, okay. You keep him busy. My cousin Nicholas is up there doing carpentry as well. Over in Roxbury, Grand Gorge. Ooh, that's looking nice. Thanks, man. First painting I've done in 20 years. It's Edisto Beach. We went there on Christmas time for a week as a family. Took some pictures. I'll be in New York in about 10 days. I'll be up in New York. Be up there for a week. Just don't tell the governor. Yep. My kids are in New York right now. My son and my daughter are up there with their grandparents in South Courtright. And I'm going up in a couple days to go pick them up. But don't tell the governor, because he might put me in quarantine. Because I'm in South Carolina right now. I'm in South Carolina, just south of Columbia. Where you at? You're gonna die. Oh man. Looking a lot better so far. I like a really thinned out green right there. See if I can't. Really thinner that. There we go. Just want to tint it. This leading edge of this foam right here. Tint it, tint it, tint it. There's some areas in here. This foam is challenging. It's semi-transparent, and then parts of it are like totally opaque, and it doesn't looks like it's standing straight up and down instead of flat across the water, the way I have it painted right now. Alright, I'm going to check my blender. Blend that out. Very dry. No. I have a steak job. I'm starting a lawn mowing business as well. I'm going to start that after I come back at the end of July. Put my business cards together. business card. Lawn service. Start when I come back. And actually, I'm going to sell these paintings. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I don't want this to be a hobby. I want to actually sell these paintings. Right now, I'm just reteaching myself how to paint. I haven't done it in 20 years. I never really learned how to do it that well to begin with. It's just something I did when I was in art school. I had some good teachers though. When I was in Vero Beach, one of my teachers was Lucius Passavante. The main thing, he learned under a master in Italy, so he was a really good artist. And he told me that there's no such thing as lines. There's just edges. So focusing on the edges of things. You got soft edges, hard edges. You got different edges between colors. Different colors create edges. Light, shadow creates edges. I'm trying to keep what you taught me in mind. Oh yeah. See, that's going to look nice once that dries a little bit. I'm going to come back with that white on top. Look at that, look at that. Oh man. It's starting to look like foam already. Look at that. Oh man. That's looking nice. That's how you do the foam right there. Not the way I did in the last video. I made a mess in the last video. What happened with the last time I painted this, I just painted over the entire thing so far. I was focusing on too many details, and I had so many details in there that it just everything got lost. It just looked like a big fuzzy mess. Yeah, it's backwards in the camera because I got the screen facing me, Leslie. But I don't know any other way to do it because I got to be able to see the screen and see what people are saying. So how are things over in your side of the town? Oh yeah. More yellow. Still too wet. Alright, well, I don't like that. That's not what I wanted. I'll have to let it dry. Alright, folks. Looks like that's the end of the ride for tonight. Tomorrow, I start adding all the stuff on that goes on top of the water. The splashes of water, the waves, the foam, the light blue up in here. And we'll have a better start at this thing than we did last night, or the other night. And once I get all the foam and all the details on top of the water, it's going to look really nice. Just going to add a little more blue over in here and then go over that. Get my big old brush here. Get all the blue off my palette. Yeah, make this blue in here. See, I'm pulling up the paint. Pulling up the paint, pulling up the paint. It's too wet. Too wet. Yeah, it's too wet to do anything. Okay, nice little pattern over here. Blend it. Throw that in there. Yeah. That's what I'm stuck with. Alright. So tomorrow. Tune in for the same bat channel. Same bat time. Hopefully I'll do something tomorrow. If not, it'll be the day after. Can't wait to get this one done. Good night, y'all. See you tomorrow.